You have to admit it. It's a secret you keep under lock and key. You're at the office, at a party, or even at a family dinner, and you feel completely alone. You see everyone laughing, exchanging glances you don't understand, and flowing in a social dance for which you don't seem to have the choreography. The question that gnaws at you is always the same. What on earth is wrong with me? If you've searched for this before, you've probably found empty advice like smile more or just be yourself, as if loneliness were a simple software error. This video isn't a comforting hug. It's an autopsy of your loneliness. We're going to use neuroscience and psychology to dissect why your brain has built its own walls. You aren't broken, but your security system is hyperactive. Your brain doesn't hate people, it simply hates risk. Evolutionarily, loneliness is an alarm signal, just like hunger. The brain designed loneliness to force us to seek the tribe, because alone in nature, we were prey. If you feel that void today, it's your biology trying to save you. However, in the modern world, this alarm has become calibrated to detect social death as if it were physical death. To your amygdala, a cold look from a colleague feels like a predator's growl. The problem is hypervigilance. Many of those who struggle to make friends aren't weird. Their brain has simply learned that the other is a potential threat. Perhaps due to past rejection, you've developed an internal algorithm that tells you if you don't get close, you can't be rejected. You aren't avoiding friends, you're avoiding the pain of rejection. This creates a state of social freezing. If you try to force yourself to be sociable without understanding that your brain perceives interaction as a real danger, you'll only increase your anxiety. You need to reprogram the alarm, not ignore it. To understand why you are invisible, we must look at the pillars that support your wall. First, the spotlight effect. You believe your social performance is the main event in other people's lives. While you torture yourself thinking about whether your greeting was awkward, the other person is thinking about their own problems. You aren't the protagonist in everyone else's movie. No one cares about you as much as you think, and that is liberating. You have permission to fail. Second, the security algorithm. As often seen in people who feel isolated, we tend to use phones or headphones as armor. Your brain says that if you look busy, you won't be rejected, but the message you're sending is that you're not available. You're guaranteeing your safety at the cost of your connection. This is a classic safety behavior that actually prevents the very thing you desire. Third, group cognitive laziness. Entering an already established group is difficult because the brain is lazy. Maintaining existing bonds requires little energy. Meeting someone new is an extra expense. If you wait in a corner for them to include you, it won't happen. It's not personal, it's social energy conservation. Most people aren't excluding you, they're simply on autopilot with their current friends. Fourth, internal disconnection. Friendship is the exchange of inner worlds. If you've spent years trying to fit in, you might have become an empty mirror. If you don't know what you're passionate about, you have nothing to exchange. Real connection is born from having something of your own to offer. Let's look deeper into a concept called the self-fulfilling prophecy of loneliness. When we feel lonely, we subconsciously expect others to be cold or judgmental. This expectation changes our body language. We cross our arms, we avoid eye contact, and our tone becomes monotonous. People react to this coldness by pulling away, which then confirms to us that people are indeed unfriendly. It's a loop that you're unknowingly feeding. We also have to talk about the selection bias. If you've been hurt before, your brain scans for evidence of cruelty in every new person you meet. You notice the one person who didn't smile, and you completely ignore the 3 people who were neutral or kind. You're looking for reasons to stay safe in your solitude, rather than reasons to risk connection. We live in the era of a false sense of connection. We have hundreds of contacts, but no one to call in a crisis. Technology has turned friendship into a consumer good. We follow or unfollow as if people were products. We've standardized vulnerability by sharing traumas for likes, but we're terrified to tell someone face-to-face that we feel alone. True connection isn't measured in clicks, but in the ability to be seen without filters. How do we get out of here? It's not magic, it's training. First, internal connection. Before looking for others, look for what makes you vibe. Become someone you would enjoy spending time with. Likability isn't faked, it's the byproduct of having a rich inner life. When you are genuinely interested in a topic, whether it's history, gaming, or art, that passion becomes a beacon for others. Next, micro-interactions. Don't look for a best friend tomorrow. Have 5 risk-free interactions daily. Ask the barista how their day is going, or give an honest compliment to a colleague. The goal is to show your brain that interacting doesn't lead to disaster. We're building social calluses. Apply the 10% rule. Share something a little more personal than usual. Don't dump your traumas. Simply say that you feel a bit tired today, or that you're nervous about a project. That is incremental vulnerability. If the other person responds well, you've removed the first brick from the wall. Vulnerability is the currency of friendship. You have to spend some to get some. Finally, practice active curiosity. Instead of worrying about being interesting, focus on being interested. Most people love to talk about themselves. If you ask a meaningful follow-up question, you've done 90% of the social work. You're shifting the focus from your own performance to their story. Making friends isn't a matter of luck. It's biology and practice. You aren't inadequate. Your security system has simply been too efficient at protecting you. But remember, total safety is the grave of connection. It's okay to be the one who cares a little more, or the one who says hello first. This process will be slow, and there will be awkward moments, and that's okay. Every failure is a lesson for your nervous system. Loneliness isn't a life sentence. It's a sign that your inner world is ready to be shared. The first step to stop being invisible is daring to be seen with all your cracks. Start today, not with a deep conversation, but with a simple, open hello.